This is just trade number 3. And what I'm learning is that trading doesn't have to be that hard if you have a clear set of rules that you are able to follow consistently. And once you have those set rules, you just don't break those rules. And now you can position yourself to be profitable. See, if you were part of BG Wealth Sharing and, we lost money over there thinking that trading was happening, we have to understand that we got to recover from that. And that's what I refer to as surviving BG Wealth Sharing. But the fact of the matter is, we need to know how to get money from the market. We shouldn't have been relying on somebody else to feed us anyway, because if you rely on somebody to feed you, you also give them the ability to starve you. That's first and foremost. So in a way, that negative thing that happened positions us to understand that we have to take control and be responsible for, our own financial futures and tapping into skill sets, assets, and getting access. If you want access to this tool that's helping me understand how to become a profitable trader, then the information is down below if you want to join me on this journey. Now, I am showing mock accounts because for YouTube purposes, because it's not making any guarantees, for educational purposes and all of those things. However, the rules still apply. If you follow this system that shows you how to get an A+ setup, you're looking for it to show 4 things and determine whether you're going to buy or sell, because you can make money whether the market is going up or going down. You don't care. You just want to follow the rules of this. If you can follow this system and these clear set of rules, you can be profitable. And I love that because it allows a beginner to be profitable for that very reason. Now, I'm about to go into a trade, and it's on Bitcoin because it is the weekend, and it is using the paper trading account, which gives you $100,000, and you'll see, I explain everything. But I'm about to go into a trade. I want you to follow along and see how simple it is. And if you want access to the tool, it should be a link down below for you to get access and join on the journey. Other people have been locking in, and it has a bot option. So people have been locking in, grabbing the bot as well. Salute to you on joining me on the journey so we can tap into getting money out of the market. But I'm going to show you this, and I'm talking through a portion of it. Then I'm going to speed it up to not make the video so long. And then I'll show you where I took profits and why. So let's dive into it. This is trade number 3, and I'm learning a lot. So join this journey early. Don't let me get to a trade 100 and I'm understanding the game, and now you're just not joining the journey and you've been following me all this time. Join me on the journey and you can get access using the link below. But let's look at the charts. So the things that we're looking for when it comes to the trade based on the tool that I'm giving you the opportunity to get access to. Now, I was wanting to do this trade sooner. I would have been in profit by now, but I couldn't figure out how to get paper trading set up on TradingView. That's what I'm on. This is TradingView, and this is just a paper trader because I want to do this for educational purposes only, so you can see how the tool works right there. So it's 4 things that we're looking for. I talked about it before, but I just want to reiterate how user-friendly and beginner-friendly this is once you have your chart set up and once you get access to the tool in the community so you can be more profitable as a trader. That being said, there's 4 things we look for. Number 1, in the upper right-hand corner, daily bias. You want it to say bearish or bullish. So if it's saying bearish, that means we're looking to make a sell. You also want to look down at the bottom, and I'll do some matter of fact, let me do this. So bearish is up here. Down here, you want to look for these 2 things. You want to look and see if it's bearish, you want it to be red. You want it to also show some red here in this area. You also want it to have some green, meaning that there's money flowing in that section. And you want it to say confirm sell. If we were going to place a buy, then you want this to say bullish. You want that to say confirm buy. You want it to be some green right there, letting you know some money coming in, and you'll want that to be green to the upside, showing that the momentum is there basically. So those are the things you're looking for. Now, at the time, the indicators that I have that you can get access to told me to make a sale. If I would have placed a sale, I would have been in the money. I still would have been in profit all the way right now. But it has some preset take profits in place. Right here, if you look, it says TP1. If I scroll up, it says TP2. Scroll up, TP3. So the tool automatically gives you the best places to take your profits. This one has an 80% success rate. Once all of those 4 things are met, It has an 80% success rate on hitting a take profit one. But sometimes people want to let it run a little longer, or if you have more than one contract, you can let it run a little longer to see if it hits take profit two and or three. But the high success rate is right here. And a lot of money can be made just off of that alone. Now, I haven't placed a trade yet, and I could have, if I would have caught it in time, but I want to educate you on how it all works so you can see in real time. This is a chart that's actually moving, and it's for Bitcoin. So I'm going to be giving different examples, with different things that we'll be trading. But for Bitcoin, because it's the weekend and Bitcoin is 24/7, but it also has a preset stop loss. The preset stop loss is right here, which means that it'll kick you out of the trade so you're not losing much of your money. That being said, I'm gonna go ahead and place a sell, even though I wanted to catch it sooner, just so we can see what happens. Now, this is the 10-minute chart, and the 10-minute chart I usually toggle. Typically 2 minute is recommended, but it just depends. You got to find what works for you. You're in control, and you have to figure out what works for you. I just wanted to come to the 10-minute chart because the 2 minute at the time wasn't showing the confirmed sell, a signal that I was looking for. However, the 10-minute chart was. So to place a sell, again, this is paper trading. I placed a sell here. So market order executed, sell one. So it was one contract for BTC. So I placed a sell there. Now, from here, in the paper, the thing I don't like about the paper trading tool on TradingView is that it automatically gets a person to start with $100,000, which is what most people are not going to start with. That said, I want to make sure that when people start trading, you actually start with an amount that you're likely to start with. So when I do the examples in the other platform that I'll be using, I'm just using a small amount. However, I still want you to see how it works for the tools standpoint. Now, as you can see, it's showing that I'm at a loss. I placed a sell here, I'm at a loss. But again, this is just for educational purposes only, because all of these metrics were met at the time that the confirmed sell was presented. So the tool works. I'm saying that to say the tool works because when it told the person to sell, that person would have been in profit up until this point. However, it's still opportunity because the take profit one has not been hit just yet. So I'm gonna stay in the trade just to see what happens. And then this is, I'm getting familiar with this tool as well. So a lot of people ask, is it beginner friendly? Yes, I'm a beginner. Is it pretty easy to set up? I mean, that's relative. I feel like it is because you can watch a video and pause, and getting yourself set up. Plus, you can ask questions within the community. However, when it comes to growth, any area that you're trying to grow in, there are some learning curves and things you have to push through. And then the more you do it, the more familiar you get with it, the more likely you are to be able to understand it later. And what was once hard becomes normal, easy, manageable. It's not because it got easier, it's because you got better. So be willing to get better. That way you're not worried about, is it beginner friendly? I mean, nothing is beginner friendly at every phase of life. Driving one time was probably terrifying to most people. However, after doing it enough, they got used to it, And the people use the example of babies walking. That's a hard thing to do. You that little, you just learning how to hold up your head and crawl and but you push through. So that being said, let's keep looking. So right now it's showing I'm at a loss of, it's fluctuating because Bitcoin is, it fluctuates quite a bit and it's a big amount of money. So just that fast, it went from being in the negative to, in the positive. So it's fluctuating, but I'm just looking at it because I don't have to honestly do anything right now. Once the trade has been set, you really don't have to keep looking at your phone. Because somebody asks, am I going to have to keep looking at my phone? I work a lot of hours. With the indicators that are set up, it presets your stop loss. It presets your take profits. So if you place the trade and you're like, all right, I just want to trust the 80% rule of if all of the metrics are met, that is going to hit my take profit. Now, whenever you come back to your phone, you can see, hey, did I make money? Did I lose money? Losses will happen. Nothing is 100%. We learned that, for those of you who were in BG Wealth Sharing, you know that the 100% win rate is unrealistic, obviously. So losses happen. So if you come to your phone and you see it was a loss, okay, perfect. That was a part of the 20%. If you come back and see you're in profit, perfect. But you don't have to sit there and watch it. However, if you want to, just so you can see what's going on or decide for yourself if you want to, you know, cut your risk or take profit before the TP1 or, TP2, then feel free to do so. It's all up to you. You are in control. But this is basically me showing you how it works. So right now, showing I'm at a loss of $62, $71. And depending on the size of your account and how much money you have in there will vary. Because if you're playing with $100 or $500 or $1,000, that's a pretty big number to be losing. This account has 100,000 in it because it's the paper trading account. So it's a very small percentage in the grand scheme of things. You want to be paying attention to the percentages. So if you have a small account that you're playing with, you're not taking these big risks in terms of trying to lose that amount. You will stop your loss much sooner, and the stop loss will be based on the size of your account. In fact, if you were starting with $100, you couldn't even trade Bitcoin, but there are some micros that you can trade with smaller dollar amounts, and I'll be sharing that as well. But the main thing I want you to see is once you place your trade, you already have these things in place. Take profit and the stop losses. It's up to you to keep looking at your phone or not. But you must be coachable and make sure you abide by the A+ setups. This is what we call the A+ setup. When the 4 things are met, you've been given a signal to buy or sell. It matches the daily bias. You want it to match the daily bias because sometimes you might get a confirmed buy, but the daily bias is bearish, meaning that the trend for that day is going down. So you don't want to go against the grain in that area. Everything must match. So if you see a confirmed sell, the daily bias is also red and bearish. You see that money is coming in towards the bottom right here. And you see that this is also red. Boom, hit sell once it tells you to hit sell. Simply put. And the same is true in reverse. If it's all green, that's an A+ setup. Got a daily bias that's green. You got a confirmed buy, not sell. And the market is moving in the upward direction. And you got the momentum bar showing green and the influx of money coming in showing green, which is the power trend and the power bar and the power trend, I believe. All of that being green, then you will hit buy. It's that simple. You don't have to know all of the details and what everything means. You'll learn that. You'll learn what these moving averages are and, and why it gave you this signal because this moving average crossed over this moving average is likely to go in this direction. You'll learn those things, but you don't have to know those things in order to be profitable, in order to be successful, in order to get in the game. That's really what it's all about, getting in the game and not being on the sidelines and understanding how to position yourself to be a profitable trader and get money out of the market. Skill sets, assets, and access. If you want access to this, it's a link down below that'll allow you to get access to it. And then, you can join me on the journey so we can learn together and earn together and then empower others to do the same. So I'm going to sit back here and let it do what it do. I might put a little speed on this part of it so I don't just have to talk through it because ain't no telling how long this part will take. But the simplicity of making sure those 4 things are met, hitting buy or sell based on what we're looking for. And you just sit back and watch it do what it do. So if you want to know if it's simple, I don't think it gets any simpler than that. And then you continue to learn as you go. Now, for some people, they want the bot. It is an actual bot option as well that allows the bot to be trading on your behalf. That option is available as well. And many people love that option because it gives them the ability to have something working for them until they figure it out. That's up to them. So now you're not only having the signal set up to where you know that when you have an A+ setup, you also have the ability for the bot to be working for you. So that's that. Now it's going back and forth in between, being in profit, being at a loss, being in profit, being at a loss. If I wanted to, I can stop it and, take whatever profits right now, the 29, 30, I could take that profit right now if I wanted to. Now, honestly, if this was a smaller account, I would. But I like you to see what happens when it hits the take profit. So if I wanted to get to that take profit one, just so you can see how it works. So I'm gonna pause this video and then let you see how it played out. So I just closed the position, and the reason why I closed it is because I don't want to make this video too long. So it's for educational purposes only. But it's proof that the system works, number one. But trading revolves around patience, because the more patient you are, the less emotion you have attached to the outcome. And you don't want to be an emotional trader. Some people would have been looking at the money like, should I take a profit there? Emotionally based. I only got out of there for two reasons. Number one, I didn't want to make this video too long, and I wanted you to see that you can still get out of a trade regardless, because you're still in control of your account, even though the parameters are set, the indicators are set, and it's set to give you a take profit point. You can take out the profit whenever you want to. All right, so there's the account. Like I told you, the paper trading account starts off with $100,000, but the realized profits is 102. I went ahead and took the profit just because I didn't want the video to be too long. And you got to always have whatever your initial goal is. If you got a goal of how much you want to make for that day, be okay with it once you hit it or not. And then just understand that if you follow that A+ setup rule, that you have a higher chance of succeeding, and just letting it hit that take profit is an 80% chance. Now, if you want to increase that percentage, then maybe you can take your profits before it hits the TP1. It's up to you. You have that power. But don't let emotions get in the way of your decisions, and try not to overthink it. A lot of people want to know, is it user friendly? Is it beginner friendly? They're just kind of scared to try something new. We have to. We have to position ourselves to be that asset for our family by getting this skill set and understanding that it comes with a learning curve, because growth requires you to get uncomfortable. That's what it's all about. That's why it's considered to be growth. But I promise you, your future self will thank you. Mr. Smith signing out. Salute.